world leaders seem to just be getting assassinated left and right. And we're living in a day and age where people just kind of don't even bat an eye. Oh, you mean you assassinated the prime minister of Yemen?
Not just one. No. I mean, yes, the prime minister. I believe it was either what do they call it? Ministers. It's like a cabinet. I think they killed him and his cabinet, essentially. It was how many people? It's like 5 people.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if another country, actually a lot of us can dream about this. Can you imagine if another country like just assassinated Trump and his cabinet?
No,
and a whole bunch of us are sitting there thinking, yeah, which one can we get to do it?
No, that's really a terrible idea. Terrible idea.
But like the hubris and the nerve, and they get away with it, which is why, and by the way, everybody in the world likes Yemen, but us. Everybody likes Yemen because Yemen, first of all, they are the closest in terms of solidarity and understanding about what the Palestinians are going through right now. They're very, very on board with what that is. They've been standing up since the beginning.
Yes.
Oh, I love Yemen. And Yemen is not only the poorest country, but they have been undergoing what has been referred to as a genocide since 2014. Now it had stopped for a little bit in terms of like the constant bombardment against the Houthis, but it's still these and they are the only ones standing up.
It has now been confirmed that Yemeni Prime Minister Ahmed al-Rahawi was assassinated in an IDF airstrike on Sana'a 2 days ago. He was killed alongside a number of state ministers during what Yemen's presidential office said.
That's actually incorrect. It probably auto did it. It's the capital.
Sana'a. Office says was a routine government workshop. So clearly somebody got tipped off.
Of course.
That's what happened.
And yet we can do Israel can do very targeted strikes.
Most moral army that ever existed.
Most moral army, and it's very targeted. But then you had to completely level Gaza when you acknowledge that you have an 82% civilian kill rate. So I'm just curious, why can you be so precise here?
83%, and that's just what's on paper. That's what they want us to believe. That's what can be verified. It's no different than even some people that we would even consider allies are still out there saying it's 60,000 or 70,000 dead Palestinians. That is such an undercount of crisis proportions.
That's like a 10 times undercount. And you know what? I find that now as infuriating as when people say, well, Hamas. Oh, I cannot wait for the next person who see now. And this is the thing. I'm officially an empty nester, and I've said this now. What has always held me back from really putting myself out there was having kids in the house. In terms of, I can't risk getting arrested. I can't.
You're getting dangerous now.
I don't give a shit anymore. And it's like I don't. These people are just not there. If we're not going to abide by international law, if our country is not going to abide by international law, then why are any of us abiding by national laws? Why are we paying taxes? And by the way, shout out to my mom, who is officially no longer going to be doing that. Woo!
And this is exactly why so much of this country is turning libertarian, because one of the prime principles of pure libertarianism is taxation is theft. You cannot pry this from me. The thing is that libertarians really do believe in a barter system. This is what it's worth, et cetera, et cetera. Not the government tells you what it's worth. And we are heading in that direction. That's, like I said, one of the biggest reasons why libertarianism is blowing up is because people don't want to pay their taxes anymore because they have no say in where their money goes. And you know what? I don't blame them. Why would you?
I do agree. I understand why people say taxation is theft. However, it isn't that bothers me. It's the taxation without representation.
Bingo, right? That's it, exactly.
Yeah. So what my mom is doing, just to let people know, and my mom is one of those people that is like so particularly right, moral to the T. So because she doesn't want to look like she's doing something wrong, she's going to hold all the money in like an account, and she's going to have it sitting in an account. And I said to her, I'm like, you should send it to Yemen, because we should all be sending our money to Yemen. The only country that's abiding by international law is the country we should be supporting. But yeah, and Yemen, there's an island off the coast of Yemen that is actually on my bucket list. It has this type of tree that only exists on this island. And it's like one of the oldest trees on the planet. And it's like, I think the island is Sirocco. I think it's called the island Sirocco,
Mm.
and it is on my bucket list. So there.
Sounds like fun.
I honestly, yeah. Well, yeah, I'm all about the trees. So like I'll go anywhere for the trees. So this island has this one tree that only exists there. So you got to go.
Hate to do this to you guys, but you're going to have to see it for yourselves. If we're going to suffer, you're suffering with us. Here's what happened.
Israel has just assassinated Yemen's Prime Minister Ahmed al-Rahawi, a sovereign nation's leader wiped out like a footnote in someone else's story. Now imagine this. Chancellor Merz of Germany sipping coffee in Berlin suddenly vaporized by a foreign drone. Or Prime Minister François Bayrou of France addressing Parliament in Paris, targeted by a precision bomb. Picture Prime Minister Keir Starmer of the UK walking Downing Street, erased in an instant. What if Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni of Italy met her end in Rome's historic streets? If an Arab nation dared send such a missile into a European capital, slaughtering one of these leaders, oh, the apocalypse that would follow. The world would erupt in righteous fury, NATO jets screaming across skies, UN resolutions raining down like hellfire, sanctions crippling economies overnight, trials at The Hague, global coalitions forming.
Okay. Pirate Justin says, to be clear, it's the Yemeni rebel government's prime minister. Thank you for clarification. I do think details are important and yet irrelevant to being assassinated by Israel. That's my point, right? So, but I do appreciate the clarification.
And as Jaya says, why isn't any government condemning this? In fact, they're not even talking about it. They were thrilled that this happened over the holiday weekend.
But it's sitting and it's festering, which is why. And see, Iran, we are only all here without being in war and without having body bags coming home because of the good grace of Iran. That's it. That's the only reason.
Yeah.
And the fact that they are looking at us like we are this ridiculous, runty, little bratty nation that has existed for but a blip of their history, and they're going to wait us out. They see we're imploding. They don't see. That's the thing.
We really are.
Right? No, Iran's just waiting us out. There's no incentive for them to attack. But I got to tell you, they are allied with Ansar Allah, and they are allied with Yemen. And so this is not going to fly without being seen by them. They're just no one's talking about it. But let them see how they handle the flotilla and see if that's not the last straw.
You're right.
Faster than you can say war crimes. And the country that did it would be branded a rogue state, its leaders hunted like ghosts, its people starved under blockades. But when Israel does it, crickets from the West. This isn't justice. It's a rigged game where some nations play God and the rest pay the price. Wake up, world. Impunity isn't power. It's poison. And it's spreading.
And slowly but surely, the world is catching on, and they're about sick of our shit. Also, I did want to say something that of the 44 countries that are represented on the flotilla, I know that there's a good contingency of people from Colombia, and Colombia has been very outspoken. It's Lula what's his name? That's not Lula. Who's the president of Colombia? I can picture in my head. Has been not only supportive. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. I can picture the guy in my head, the head of Colombia, the leader of Colombia. Not only is supportive of his people on the flotilla, but that is, I believe, a country that has like sanctioned the flotilla. Sanctioned meaning like approved. Right. That's not again. And so I thought that's really cool. So Colombia actually, as a governing body, cares about its people. See that? So if they were to, let's say, hypothetically, bomb a boat that had Gustavo Petro, thank you.
Thank you, Lisette.
This is a pothead brain. But like, let's say they are to bomb a boat that has these Colombian nationals on it. That's not going to be okay. This is I just don't see how they're going to get out of this with 50 boats. There's 50 boats.
Acting Yemeni Prime Minister Mohammed Miftah, here's what he had to say.
يقول لهذا العدو هيهات من الذلة ونحن بإذن الله أقوى وأصلب وأكثر استعدادا للتضحية وأكثر استعدادا لأداء الواجب ونقول لأحبتنا وأهلنا وتاج رؤوسنا في غزة نقول لهم كما قال السيد القائد يحفظه الله لستم وحدكم.
You will not break them. You're going to try, but this is the difference. If there is a key difference between Eastern culture and Western culture, Eastern culture is not afraid to die, but Western culture is.
It's that. And again, we go back to the same thing. Like, we in this country, for the most part, have no concept of what it is to be tied to something really bigger than ourselves, like a land and a people. We really don't, because in this country, we have so many different...
A land for people for people without a land.
But,
I mean, the irony of that statement.
Well, and that's why the Yemeni are so like simpatico with the Palestinians, because they are also so tied to the land. These are the original people of our planet and our species. And the Yemeni, given the Sana'a is the oldest city in the world. So these people have existed way longer than US empire has even been a thought. And we're just so fucking arrogant. But we will never understand that revolutionary spirit just based on this country. We just won't. You don't have that here. Life is too fucking easy and convenient here. These people have a spirit and it's completely incomparable. And the truth is, it's not different in places like Iran too, where you have people that have existed for centuries, you know, like culture that has existed for so many. I mean, we're idiots. Compared to we're like cavemen. And these people are doing physics like that. That's how ridiculous we are. And yet we have so much power. So that makes us be the winners.
For now.
Exactly.
For now.
نحن معكم بدمائنا بأرواحنا بمهاجنا بكل غالي وعزيز علينا. نقولها صدقا وتعبدا لله وشعورا بالخجل من الله أننا نرى هذه الجرائم ولم نشارككم بقطر الدم ولا بشهداء.
I don't know what he's saying, but it sounds nice to me. I just recently watched something that was explaining why modern Hebrew that they speak, which we all know is a completely made up language, why it sounds so bad to us. And yet it's so next door to Arabic, but yet Arabic sounds like flowy and lovely. And it was a really interesting video, like breaking down like the bases of the language. And even though they're right there, they're so different. Like, to me, that sounds lovely.